Welcome to today's episode of the Sell for Millions Show. We're going to talk about a very cool topic today. We're going to talk about the 4 ways to produce income, and really I want to inspire you. I want you to, wherever you are on the quadrant, to be inspired today to move along in your life, to start out in one area and move to the other. So let's dive in right now into the information. Most people start out their career as an employee, and it's cool being an employee for a lot of reasons. You get paid consistently. Typically, you have a job function that you do. They give you, here's what you do it every day. You get a performance review, and things typically work out pretty good. You might get paid vacation, which is really fun when you're laying on the beach somewhere and your paycheck still comes. And you have other perks and benefits like 401k. There might be 401k matches, stock option programs, all those different kinds of things. So in the U.S., and we're going to talk about today really is about building wealth. So in the U.S., about 5% of the wealth is created that way. So your odds are, in my opinion, not that great, at 5%. But there are some good things about it. Now, the bad and the ugly. No real security. Basically they can come in at any time and just say, hey, we don't need you anymore. For a number of different reasons. They're going to pay you what they think you're worth, maybe not what you're worth. And I remember when I worked in the corporate world, there'd be people making what I made, and I felt like I did way more than they did. And sometimes it doesn't feel very fair. And then no freedom. Basically you're asking somebody, hey, can I have the morning off to go watch my kid play t-ball, or 3 weeks ahead of time or months ahead of time to plan vacations, things like that. And to advance, you may have to have somebody, quit, be fired, or pass away before you can really move up the corporate ladder. The next way is to create wealth is self-employed. Now again, the nice thing about this, in some ways, you don't have a boss. You are still trading hours for dollars. You have to purchase your own benefits, where what we talked about in a previous video, when you are running things through an LLC, at least you're making money, you're having your expenses, and then you're paying your taxes, so it is a business deduction. And one of the other kind of tough things about it is when you stop working, if you don't build it correctly, your income may stop as well when you're self-employed, depending on what you're doing. But the other good thing about being self-employed, you may be able to work for, till you're, in your 70s and 80s. I know attorneys that are 70, 80 years old, dentists, doctors, that type of thing. So you may be able to do it a long time. So again, we talked a little bit about this. The bad and the ugly about it is, if you don't work, your income stops. You're kind of dependent on yourself. And what we're going to talk about today, and again, when I talked about wanting to inspire you, I want to talk to you about, and again, only 10% of the 95% of the population where again you own a job. So now let's get into the exciting part, where we want to inspire you to be an entrepreneur or business owner. And again, this process of starting out as an employee, then moving on to self-employed. But if you're in that self-employed mode right now, be motivated to make it into a business, into systems, and we'll talk about that. Because again, in my opinion, this is the worst place to be. You don't have any kind of benefits. You still may be chasing clients to pay you, all those types of things. So let's get into being an entrepreneur and business owner. What my definition and what the definition of being a business owner and entrepreneur is building a system. And that system will create income for you. Now the system can be technology, the system can be employees and workers, but either way you're building out systems, and when you do it properly, a lot of your income is leveraged and passive. Again, you train somebody one time, or you're, like in my case, I use an automated sales funnel that will help generate lead generation and things like that for me. And your business can be worth millions of dollars, and then you can move into the investor quadrant, which is really where doesn't everybody want to be, where you got this fat bank account, you have passive income coming in, really no worries financially. Every month You can do a draw off your investments, whatever that may be. So moving through these quadrants of from an employee to self-employed to owning a system, building that system out, and then eventually being an investor and your money works for you. So in closing, let's talk about beginning with the end in mind. I hope today you're thinking, okay, in 10 years or 5 years or 30 years, whatever it is, I want to be to the point in my life where my money is working for me, I'm an investor, and set your intentions to move through those quadrants, to move from an employee, and again, if it's your goal, right? I mean, you can be an employee. I don't want to sit here and say everybody needs to be an entrepreneur and build a business or things like that. It's just if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this right now, you probably have interest in that. And set your intentions. Set your intentions to build a system, build a company that can be sold. And that's what Sell for Millions does, is we help people build their businesses right, show them right from day one with the end in mind on what it'll take to be able to sell their business for millions of dollars and then become an investor. So get started with this process and never give up. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, hope you're inspired to take massive action to go through the quadrants. Thanks for joining, and we will see you in the next episode.